Well, that's the news. Thank you so much for watching KCAL News at 5 on CBS Los Angeles. KCAL News at 6 on CBS Los Angeles with Pat Harvey starts right now.
This is KCAL News, Los Angeles.
Now at 6, chaos for commuters on the road and high surf concerns for the community at the coast. A powerful storm system is moving out, but it's definitely leaving some damage behind. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to KCAL 9 News at 6 on CBS Los Angeles. I'm Pat Harvey. A live look now at our next weather satellite. And we only got the tail end of this bomb cyclone system, but it definitely made an impact. We have live team coverage on what's left of the storm. KCAL's Rachel Kim is out in Sherman Oaks, and meteorologist Markina Brown is tracking what comes next. And that's where we begin tonight with Markina. Evening.
Evening, Pat. Yes, what comes next is a little bit of a break. We are still seeing some very light rain, very unorganized, as you can see, make its way through the area here. Still mountain snow falling as well. Parts of Anaheim, parts of even the Santa Clarita Valley, LA, seeing some of the light rain. Going in a little bit closer here, Wrightwood, seeing some of that mountain snow come down still at this hour. So we will continue to watch this system become less and less as we go through the night tonight. That is for sure. But you mentioned what this system did. Yeah, it might have been the tail end, but it put down a good amount of rain. Folks in Pasadena, well over 2.5 inches. Porter Ranch over 3. Van Nuys over 3 inches as well. The folks in Long Beach over an inch, almost 1.75 inches. Over 2 for the folks in Calabasas, and Agora Hills came in at just about 3.25 inches. So we're going to break right now, but not for long. We've got more. Another storm. I am eyeing it for you. I'll let you know what you need to know coming up in just a little bit. Back to you.
We will definitely stay tuned for that. All right. Thank you, Markina. Well, trees brought down in the storm today. Streets blocked and cars damaged. KCAL's Rachel Kim is live where one crashed down in Sherman Oaks. Rachel.
Jacaranda tree that toppled over after the heavy rains, exposing the entire root system there. Now, this tree took down power lines, but right now the only person without power is Mr. Delaney. This tree has not been removed from the street yet, so part of Greenleaf Street here remains blocked off.
It's been raining constantly for 4 days, so, it's not surprising to see this happen.
Kevin Delaney took advantage of the break from the rain this morning and went on a walk, only to come back to his Sherman Oaks home and see that his century-old jacaranda tree had uprooted and come down.
I did not hear or see anything happen until I walked around the corner at Beverly Glen, and the tree was across the street, crushed my neighbor's car.
Kevin, when you realized if it had fallen in the opposite direction, things could have been a lot different. What goes through your head thinking about that?
It's very nerve-wracking.
It's the older, larger trees that we typically see and hear about failures and breakage.
William McKinley is a consulting arborist who isn't surprised by all the downed trees we've seen across the Southland this morning, like the one at Delaney's home and other snapped and uprooted trees in Burbank, Beverly Hills, West Hollywood, and Somas in Ventura County. McKinley says the heavy rain saturates the soil around the trees. The moisture can cause root decay, which can then lead to the towering trees falling over.
You can still see some evidence of the fungus right in there, the wood rotting decay. The important thing to remember when you have trees growing over your house is have them regularly pruned and inspected. And they have by an arborist.
And I'm just thankful nobody got hit or hurt or no major property damage. It's kind of a blessing.
Yeah, again, fortunately and amazingly, no one was injured in all of this, just a big mess. The biggest damage was to Delaney's neighbor's black BMW, which right now still remains under that tree. Reporting live in Sherman Oaks, Rachel Kim, KCAL News.
All right. Hope that tree gets from, well, the car gets from under that tree before the night ends. Thank you so much, Rachel. Danger and damage from a roaring creek. The water was so strong it busted through Roadrunner Road near Sand Canyon in Santa Clarita. The force was strong enough to knock a pickup truck off the pavement and into the running water. One man tells us the overflowing creek caused him to miss work at a facility that helps children.
I take care of these animals for these kids. I'm actually a therapist for the animals and the kids.
Well, the storm also caused flooded streets. You can check out how water pulled up at the corner of Moore Park Street and Tahunga Avenue in Studio City. And the storm has left a few of our local roads closed because of damage. KCAL News assignment editor Mike Rogers is at the desk now. And Mike, these closures are ongoing, right?
Yeah, Pat, I've got two of them to tell you about. Both are active right now. And before I get there, I got to tell you, as far as storm damage goes, it could have been a lot worse. We're actually pretty lucky with what we got. I want to take you straight to some video. This is Topanga Canyon Highway. You see that very large boulder blocking the road. There's that boulder along with some other dirt. You can see they're moving away there. This is county road crews, LA County road crews. Now, Topanga Canyon closed from PCH to Fairview Drive. It's about a quarter to halfway up the mountain there. The hard part that the county crews are going to have a hard time with here, Pat, is that to get rid of these boulders, they usually have to strap them with explosives and actually blow them up because in their full size, they're too heavy to take away on the trucks. So that's going to be closed for some time. We're monitoring that. Now, I want to take you to another piece of video. This is in Studio City along Mulholland. You can see water washed out part of Mulholland. Now, the road doesn't appear to have any major damage. I can see some curb that fell down there. But look at that power pole. That power pole is kind of now precariously placed. There's not a lot of support along it. There are power crews there. You can see them right there that are working to fix this. They're probably going to have to bring in some dirt to shore up the road there to make sure that that power pole traffic was diverted. Mulholland's closed from Coldwater Canyon rather, further east. Now, as we come back out here, that was in LA County. Now I want to take you to Ventura County, where Ventura County fire crews have been very busy today. Here's a hoist rescue they had to do. They had to do this because people were in the low-lying riverbed areas. So what they brought in is they brought in helicopters. Now they had 3 or 4 of these today. Ventura County Fire spent the majority of the day out there dealing with this. This is the issue. You have these encampments that are in the marsh there, in that brush land, and as KCAL zooms out here, you see the water that goes around it. So the river, Ventura County Fire spent the majority of the day out there dealing with this. This is the issue. You have these encampments that are in the marsh there, in that brush land, and as KCAL zooms out here, you see the water that goes around it. So the river in this video is actually lower than it was at the peak. So because of that, the fire crews had to respond. They had to rescue several people. I did check with both LAFD and LA County Fire. Neither one of them said they went to any swiftwater rescues today. So that's the good news here, because usually the LA River, which was flowing pretty heavily today, Pat, is our hot spot. Luckily, no issues.
That's good. And, you know, Mike, people generally take that Topanga Canyon route from the valley to get to PCH.
Exactly. So they'll have to, I just checked our next traffic map. The 405 looks okay, or they can go a little bit further west and go up Las Virgenes there.
All right. That's good to know. Thanks so much, Mike.
Yep.
Now, this storm brought a lot of snow, fog, and wind to San Bernardino. This is video of Green Valley Lake, which is San Bernardino's highest mountain town. It's notorious for getting snow once it starts raining in the surrounding areas. So if you're looking for a winter wonderland, definitely not a bad place to check out. And our storm coverage continues online. To find rain totals, interactive radars, and our next chance for rain, just head to KCALnews.com, and you can always download the CBS app. And still ahead here at 6, high surf and coastal flooding. The storm recovery efforts underway in our beach communities. And Pope Benedict XVI laid to rest today at the Vatican. The special mass dedicated to him here in LA. Tens of thousands of faithful packed St. Peter's Square this morning to say a final goodbye to Pope Benedict XVI. Pope Francis celebrated the funeral mass for his predecessor in St. Peter's Square at the Vatican. He is the first sitting pope to preside over the funeral of a retired pontiff in church history. During a 7-minute homily, Pope Francis prayed for God to welcome Benedict home. About 50,000 people attended the service. At the end of the funeral, Pope Francis blessed the cypress casket before Benedict was carried into St. Peter's Basilica and buried in the Vatican grottos.
Alleluia, alleluia.
Back here at home, a mass was held at the Cathedral of Our Lady of the Angels to celebrate the late pontiff's life. LA Archbishop Jose Gomez officiated the mass. calling Pope Benedict a gentle soul in Mass. The late pontiff appointed Gomez Archbishop of Los Angeles in 2010. He said he will always be grateful to the former pope for the honor of serving LA. And coming up, coastal communities preparing for high surf. How big the waves are going to get.
Just as we start to kind of dry out, I am already eyeing another storm system headed our way. Details coming up.
Well, the storm is moving out, but high surf is moving in, and now coastal communities are rallying together to prepare. KCAL News assignment editor Mike Rogers has more on how it's going along the coast. Mike.
Hi, Pat. Yeah, we're monitoring some situations here and there, but so far, not too terrible. I want to take you to some video. This was down in Seal Beach earlier today, on and off throughout the day. They had this is Long Beach, I'm sorry, actually. They had some sandbagging going on, preventing some of the water from coming up. Over in Seal Beach, same situation. Seal Beach got the typical, flooding in the spots right there where it washes up into the parking lot a little bit. But as our Michelle Geely reported earlier today, definitely not the same as it has been in the past. It didn't make it up to any of the doorsteps or cause any of those other problems. Now, Pat, I'm also monitoring a situation in Marina del Rey. We've just learned that Yacht Club Drive may be closed due to some pounding surf and preparing for the impending high tide around 10 o'clock. So we're going to have SkyCal over that, checking that out. We're also going to go back to Seal Beach right now to check out the situation there. But so far, no damaging flooding on the coast.
All right, thanks for keeping an eye out on that, Mike. And after the storm comes the rainbow. Look at this. This was taken down the street from the KCAL News lot in Studio City. We are drying out now, but no, it won't be for long. And another storm is on the way. The reason I know that because meteorologist Marquita Brown said so. She's got our next weather forecast. Marquita.
Yeah, we've been busy, right? Lots of weather to monitor over the last several days. We are going to get a little break, Pat, as we look at today or right now, and then as we head toward tomorrow. Then we're going to get back into the game. We've got another storm system coming our way that's going to give us more rain. In fact, we could see just as much from this next storm system as what we saw from what we got yesterday and today. Taking a look at satellite radar, this looks much better, right? Just a lot of unorganized, isolated showers kind of making their way through the area right now. That will continue as we head toward the next couple of hours or so. I am not expecting a whole lot of additional accumulation, even in our LA mountains, LA County mountains. We're seeing just a little bit of mountain snow still falling right around the Wrightwood area. But other than that, we are good and dry. And as far as watches and warnings, we are still left with this winter weather advisory and this wind advisory. And that is it. Coastal flood advisory, and we're done. We're looking at satellite radar, though, and watching what's going to be happening over the next 24 to 48 hours, and that is a clear sky. So even as we get into tomorrow, that means you should expect more rain. So let's get into this 7-day forecast here, because again, the system that I am monitoring looks like it is going to be another doozy. As we get into tomorrow, we're looking at temperatures that'll be in the low 60s. Saturday and Sunday, a little bit of sunshine, but just ahead of that system, we will increase the clouds here. So we're looking at low 60s and a mainly cloudy sky. Getting into the beginning of next work week, that is where the activity starts again. We're looking at 62 degrees on Monday, with the showers coming by afternoon, evening, and sticking with us as we go through Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Should be dry. Then we get into Friday for the valleys. We're doing 63 degrees, a partly cloudy sky. Should feel good to see the sunshine, right? Then as we get into the weekend, it looks like those clouds will increase again with temperatures in the low 60s. Getting into the work week, here we go again with that system, or at least another system making its way through. Temperatures will be in the upper 50s as we get into Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Will be dry, but then as we look at, of course, the Inland Empire forecast, you are seeing temperatures in the low 60s really over the next few days. You really start to cool down as we see that system, or at least the tail end of it, get into your area as we get into Tuesday. Next Wednesday and Thursday, hopefully, will be dry. Lots of 60s for the beaches over the next few days. You'll be dodging rain showers as we get into Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday and Thursday, we're looking at a partly cloudy to mostly cloudy sky. Then we head to the mountains, where where they will finally get to enjoy all of the white powder that they have. Temperatures will be in the 40s, lots of sunshine all the way through the weekend. Clouds start to increase again as we get into Monday. Tuesday, we're looking at temperatures in the upper 30s. We are going to, again, with the moisture, look at the possibility of more snow for you on, again, Tuesday. That is a look at your weather report. How about a look at sports now with Jim Hill?
Sports on CBS Los Angeles is sponsored by Rotolo Chevrolet, pursuing excellence every day.
Good evening again, everyone, and welcome to Pauley Pavilion for tonight's rivalry in college basketball against USC and UCLA. But before we get to that, we will have more right now on Buffalo Bills player DeMar Hamlin. This, according to Hamlin's doctors at the University of Cincinnati Medical Center. Hamlin began to awaken this morning and is showing substantial improvement after going into cardiac arrest on the field on Monday evening. Hamlin is still in critical condition, but so far, no neurological issues have been found. He's able to move his hands and his feet and communicate in writing. And several members of the Bills spoke about the incident for the first time.
Being on that field, you lose sleep, you hurt for your brother, a lot of shared grief, but to the question before, getting updates and positive updates eases so much of that pain and that tension that you feel. But Coach handled it as perfect as anybody could.
And the Bills return to the field on Sunday against the New England Patriots. Kickoff is set for about 10 o'clock in the morning on Los Angeles time. Then at about 1:25, the Chargers will face the Denver Broncos, and their regular season finale, Sports Central, of course, follows those games. As for tonight's sold-out game here at Pauley Pavilion, UCLA is ranked 10th in the nation and riding a 10-game win streak as they get set to host their crosstown rival Trojans. The Bruins have yet to lose at home this season and will enter the game as an 11-point favorite. And we caught up with both the teams this week to get their take on why the rivalry means so much to them.
We play so often, and our guys probably know each other so well in the small basketball world nowadays. Our rivalry is about basketball. It's not a rivalry out of hatred by any stretch. I have great respect for the program.
You know, we won the last two, but I still don't forget what happened before then, how we had a bunch of losses to them previously. So, yeah, it's still in the back of my mind, and we want to get this win as bad as ever.
I know a bunch of the guys. You see them around with pickup and all the stuff and just around the city, out and about, and it's cool. It's cool to be able to continually, play in this tradition and this rivalry. So, yeah, we're looking to take care of business.
It's a great event. We play them home and away every year. That's usually standing room only crowds. It's on ESPN. It means a lot in our league. It means a lot in our city. It's fun for the whole city.
UCLA, USC college basketball. The joint is packed. Going to be a lot of fun. All the highlights for you tonight at 11 o'clock. Reporting live from Pauley Pavilion, I'm Jim Hill. Back to you in the studio now.
All right, thanks so much, Jim. We will certainly be tuning into that. Okay, well, holiday shopping hit a record high despite widespread record inflation. What drove consumers to spend?
David Goldstein, weeknights, KCAL News. The Sports Report is sponsored by Rotolo Chevrolet, California's #1 Chevy dealer.
Online shopping hit a record high over the holiday season, according to a new report from Adobe Analytics. Consumers spent nearly $212 billion from November 1st to December 31st. And that's a 3.5% increase over the same period in 2021, despite high inflation. Retailers offered steep record high discounts. Toys were marked down by 34%. Electronics were 25% less, and clothing nearly 20% cheaper. A jury in New York will decide if Adidas can trademark its stripes. Yep, the athletic apparel company is suing fashion house Thom Browne for its use of white stripes. The design in question uses 4 stripes as opposed to the 3 stripes Adidas uses. Thom Browne originally used a 3-stripe design but changed it to 4 after Adidas complained. But now Adidas says the 4-stripe design is close enough to its branding to cause confusion among consumers. Well, Wall Street ended today's trading session with losses. The Dow plunged 340 points. The Nasdaq was down 154, and the S&P closed 45 points lower. And still ahead, a powerful storm and high surf hits the Southern California coast. The popular pier closed because of it.
Christine Lazar, weeknights, KCAL News.
The Manhattan Beach Pier is closed until the weekend because of high surf and high tides. The city issued the notice today. Surf is expected to be between 12 to 16 feet for the next couple of days. The pier will reopen Saturday, the 7th. And one last look at our next weather satellite as the bomb cyclone storm continues to pummel the west coast. We thank you for watching KCAL News at 6 on CBS Los Angeles. The CBS Evening News with Nora O'Donnell is next. And tonight there is historic rejection for the third straight day. And there's a standoff on Capitol Hill as Kevin McCarthy's bid for Speaker of the House remains on life support. And we will see you again tonight on KCAL News at 11 on CBS Los Angeles.
Tonight, we're coming on the air with developments in several major news stories, including the chilling new details in the Idaho College murder investigation.
This is the CBS Evening News with Nora O'Donnell, reporting from the nation's capital.
Good evening to our viewers in the West, and thank you for joining us on this busy Thursday night. Tonight,